What is up, good people? What is up, good people? What is up? So I wanted to jump in here for a quick minute here. So I was scrolling through YouTube, and this particular individual popped up on my screen here. I guess his name is Jesse on Fire. Let me try to make this a little bit so you can see it a little bit better here. I never heard of the guy. He's got a pretty sizable following. So he's got a pretty sizable following. So I'm making this just so people can recognize what's out there, who to follow and who not to follow. And you got to be. I don't know what else he talks about, but he's talking here about the situation with Trump and the attempted assassination attempt. And I try to keep. We got some stuff over here. Well, I'll try to make this. I'll try to hide this for a little bit here. Let me hide this. I should have got all this ready. Yeah, I should have. But I want to. He started out the video saying he was in Mexico. So before I thought he was kind of some right winger. Maybe he's kind of a person who really doesn't like minorities too much. But I don't know who he is. I don't want to paint with a broad brush here. But he doesn't say anything crazy. At least first few moments that I've seen. I haven't watched the whole video yet, but I wanted to kind of comment before we go on. So I wanted to read these comments here. This says, I just joined. So this is a live, I guess he did. Your sub account, homie, fake quote. Yeah, this insert name here, fake quote. This is got. We'll get into what you're talking about here. So, that's all from the chat replay here. Nothing too crazy. All right, so that's enough of that. But we stick with that idea. Keep that idea in your mind about the fake quote there. And we're gonna let him kind of go on here. This is who he is, Jesse on Fire. We're gonna kind of let him talk here, and he's talking about some things that he heard and some things that he verified and all that kind of stuff, right? So we're gonna read through we're gonna listen to what he says, and then we're gonna read through the policy on. So just pay attention to what this man is saying. So
stuff that's come out today. So that is what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to show you guys exactly what he said. And welcome, guys. We gained, let's see what our current, let's see where we're at now. We have gained about 20,000 new subscribers today. So welcome, everybody.
Now, I think that this is going to be. I think that what he just said right there is pretty scary. He just gained 20 new subscribers in a day. So here's where this thing gets a little scary to me, because there's people out here who would think something's going down and then run into people like this. Again, I don't know much about this guy. Let's see if we can go to this guy and figure out who he is. I don't know much about this guy, but people are running to people like this in attempts to figure out, figure out some stuff. So this is all right. So this is all. Let's see. Maybe looks like he's got the boxer's ears, a fighter's ears. So maybe he's just a boxer, a fighter, MMA guy. I don't know. Let's see. Community join. Let's see more. Just about covering combat sports industry, personal around current events, unmatched and black belt level skills. All right, okay. So he's got he's got a good following there, no doubt about it. All right, let's go back to what he says here.
Thank you, guys. Excited to have you guys on board. But let's. I know, no, believe me, I know that's exactly my point. That's why. That's exactly why I'm prefacing that. I have no verification whether or not this is real. The thing is, real or not real, the explanation for what's claimed here needs to be given either way. Okay. So here's what we're talking about. All right. So this is a post and it says, my name is Jonathan Willis. I'm the officer in the famous photo of the two snipers on the roof at Trump's rally. I came here to inform the public I had the assassin in my sights for at least 3 minutes, but the head of the Secret Service refused to give the order to take out the perp. 100% the top brass prevented me from killing the assassin before he took a shot at President Trump. Here's the thing about.
I want to pause right there. There's no way that anybody in the Secret Service would have posted this. No way. And the claim is that he was looking at the shooter, crawling around doing whatever. I've only watched a few minutes of this, and I stopped to turn this on. So we'll dig into a little bit more of this. There's no way, and he's saying that this is a verified quote. He knows people inside and this, that, and the other. Listen, the guy that you're listening to right now, the guy's talking to you right now, is a police officer, right? When President Obama was in office, his wife came. George Bush before him, we had to work with the Secret Service as police officers. I'm telling you, if there was a guy crawling around in the woods or on roofs, in eye shot of this individual, they would have lit him up. I'm telling you. They had when Michelle Obama came to our city, they had their own snipers there, and they had our emergency response team or our SWAT was working with them. They all had lookouts all over the place. So, and that was for the first lady at the time. This is the claim here about this, that this is real. I'm guaranteed it's not real. Number one, and number two, the claim that he's making right here is it's just ludicrous.
About that, all right. Here's the thing about that: whether or not that post is real, I already heard from a 100% verified source, okay, that the rules of engagement supposedly in a situation like that is they.
Okay. Rules of engagement supposedly. Did you get this from a verified source or not? Rules of engagement supposedly
have to wait until someone fires on the president.
No way. I'm telling you, if you get anywhere close to the president, former president, any of their protectees, and you present anyway. And even let's just say that they saw the guy crawling, they would have sent people over there to talk to him. They would not have let the president or the Donald Trump onto the stage with this guy in their presence. They wouldn't have been able to get on the stage. They would have been like, "Listen, sir, we got a situation going on. Let's just clear that up."
How is that? So you got one of two options, okay? And like I said, that's verified. So you got one of two options. You either have conspiracy or incompetence on a level that's kind of unfathomable. You had an entire parking lot of people screaming, "He's got a gun. He's got a gun." The guy's army crawling on a roof that's 150 meters from President Trump with a fucking assault rifle. They're all
at minimum, they would have got him off the stage. At minimum, if they knew that, they would have got him off the stage. And to be at these scenes, what happens is that people are shouting different stuff. Hey, look over there, and people and officers and Secret Service agents will try to vet this and try to see what's going on and try to am I being distracted? Yeah. There's kooks and crowds constantly yelling different things and saying all different type of things. So you cannot, should not, must not always, as officers, leave your post, you radio things in, try to get things going. So listen, I'm agreeing that there's some questions that really need to be answered. I'm agreeing with that. I mean, the head of the Secret Service, coincidentally, who the guy in the post didn't name, is going to have to answer some really tough questions coming to these hearings probably tomorrow. It's Sunday as I record this, and he's got some splaining to do. He's definitely got some splaining to do. But this idea that it was just, they just knew what was going on, they couldn't shoot him until the bullet escaped the chamber, is in no way of any law enforcement's responsibilities. I'm telling you, they're going to act sooner than that.
Well, you just got to make 100% sure that he does have a lethal weapon. It's like, you do? Because what they said, they're all, well, it's you don't want to take a bad shot, and it turns out it's just like a journalist with a telescope. You're like, if a person is stupid enough.
Come on, man. Come on. Journalist with a telescope. A guy. These people have scopes too. They can see through the scopes. They have binoculars. they have spotters with high-powered binoculars. Oh my God.
to put themselves within a very easy shot range with a thing that looks very similar to a rifle scope, and they're going to army crawl themselves up there. Okay. If you get noodled, that is tragic, but less tragic. No offense to the hypothetical person that doesn't exist that got killed. Less tragic than the leading candidate in the American presidential race getting shot in the face in front of the entire world. You guys understand that that's what would have happened had this gone even a millimeter different. Okay, the clip that everyone would be seeing would be a bullet blowing up Trump's face. The guy that got hit is some heroic father that when the shots rang out, he blanketed himself over his family like everybody hopes that they would in that situation. I have 3 daughters, wife. Like, I thought about that all day. I'm like, I would call myself 99% sure that that's exactly what I would do. But that guy got hit in the head and it blew his head out like brain matter. I heard a lot of people talking about how they were talking about the caliber of the weapon because I think I heard I can't remember exactly what it was. Someone very credible was saying they thought it sounded like a 22 long rifle in an AR setup or whatever. I think it was.
Oh my God! Listen, I'm not gonna be able to get through this. So I wanted to. He talked about he's got these credible sources. You guys can go over to his channel and listen. It's a 33-minute long video. I can't stomach that. But I want to talk about this. The rules of engagement. Can you see him here? Let me see. Let me make sure that you guys can see it here. So this is for. Listen, you can go verify this. Right. This is the power and the benefit of living in the information age with technology, right? So you can go over to the rules of engagement and you can take a look and see for most police departments and your sheriff's department and here we go, Secret Service, right? Department of Homeland Security. This is the policy statement, and I read one from 2018, but I looked to see whether there was one that was a little bit more current. And this is this is more current, right? This is from Alejandro Mayorkas, the Secretary of Homeland Security, right? Right. So this is the standard. This is what the standard is for law enforcement concerning what their policies and procedures look like, right? I've read others from different states because I do police expert testimony work, looking at use of force cases, et cetera, right? So this is what the standard policy looks like, right? To give a purpose, use of force standard, right? Discussion of the Fourth Amendment, reasonableness test, right? Just talked about the guy crawling on the roof, right? This is what the Fourth Amendment reasonableness test is, right? So you have the right to be safe and secure in your persons, and police officers, or in this case, the Secret Service agents, has to take a reasonable justification for what he has done, what he or she has done. And so you got a guy crawling on a roof with a apparent sniper style rifle, aiming and setting up to shoot, to possibly shoot. I'm telling you that the Secret Service, that fits the objectionable standard of reasonableness, and any officer in that case, it would be justified to, number one, go up there and stop the guy, have a conversation with him, get the president off the stage, because I didn't watch all of the guy's video, but I'm assuming what they're saying is it's a conspiracy that you were going to just let this happen. Of course, that's going to go on, right? It's going to go on. That's good. What the conspiracy is, right? We're just going to let this happen. So this is the reasonableness standard, right? General principles: respect for life, de-escalation when possible, right? Nothing. All this is all law enforcement stuff, right? Use of safe tactics, right? Additional consideration. DHS, law enforcement officers, warnings. Can you give a warning shot? Exigent circumstances, right? Which means emergency situations, self-defense or the defense of another person. DHS, law enforcement officers, are authorized to use any available object or technique, right? So they can do anything, right? Once you shoot somebody, you got to render medical care, duty to intervene, right? Because this is George Floyd situations, right? You see a DHS officer, or in this case, anyone else acting, going above and beyond, they got to do something. Warning shots, general prohibition, exceptions. When can you not use warning shot, or you can use warning shots? The U.S. Coast Guard can use warning shots, Aviation, because you can't just go shooting down airplanes, right? So give warning shots, disabling fire. Who can do that? Again, U.S. Coast Guard. I'm assuming CPD is Border Patrol, ICE, physical protection, safety considerations, deadly force. As with the case of usually force, a law enforcement must be objectively reasonable in light of the facts and circumstances confronting law enforcement at the time force is applied. In other words, reasonably objectable or objectively reasonable in light of facts and circumstances. What does an officer know at the time? In this case, the Secret Service agent knew, or should, based on what they're saying. I don't believe any of this. I don't believe they knew, I don't believe any of this, but they got to give some answers. I'm definitely saying they got to give some answers. How can you not see this? But what did they know at the time you pulled the trigger? That's all that's important. May use deadly force only when necessary, as reasonable belief that the suspect such force poses immediate threat of death or serious bodily injury to a law officer or someone else. Go down to, I actually went by this, right? Physical protection. Authorized United States Secret Service, right? U.S. Secret Service personnel exercising USS's protective service responsibilities and otherwise an appropriate trained DHS law enforcement LEOs, law enforcement officers assigned to assist Secret Service in exercising these responsibilities may discharge firearms to disable moving vehicles, vessels, and other conveyances. As such, disabling fire is classified as less than lethal force, except when you shoot in an aircraft. Disabling fire against an aircraft in flight is permitted only if the use of deadly force of the occupants of the aircraft or in response to a threat posed by the aircraft itself or otherwise authorized under this policy. This is classified as use of force. So you can shoot. So one aircraft can shoot down, right? Something that is going to fly into a building or try to take out Air Force One or whatever, right? So Secret Service agents can do all that, right? So Secret Service agents are part of this, right? Part of this Homeland Security thing, right? All right, so deadly force, right? Fleeing suspects, discharge of firearms, general guidelines. Discharging a firearm against a person constitutes the use of deadly force and shall be done only with the intent of preventing or stopping the threatening behavior that justifies the use of deadly force. The act of establishing grip, unholstering, or pointing a firearm does not constitute the use of deadly force. Otherwise, all those snipers are up on the nests there would be engaged in employing use of deadly force, right? So therefore, they're just pointing at this thing constitutes that. So this guy crawling around on here, given the facts and circumstances that they knew at the time, number one, they would not have allowed former President Trump to go on the stage. They would have definitely rushed over there before any shots were fired, sent the state police over there. Somebody would have been talking to this guy had they known that it was there, had they known that he was doing what he was doing. Unquestionable. Discharging a firearm from a moving vehicle is prohibited. Moving vehicles, vessels, aircraft, and other conveyances. Firearms shall not be discharged solely to disable moving vehicles, right? And so listen, these discharge of firearms and this use of deadly force is really kind of generic in his writings because they don't want to make it so restrictive that officers don't know, can't act. But I'm telling you, as a guy who's worked in law enforcement, worked with these individuals, known operators who have worked closely with Secret Service agents, and by operators, I mean emergency SWAT team members who have done it. This is not their standard operating procedure, as this guy said. So my concern is that he's got 20,000 new subscribers. He's just disseminating erroneous information. He's got it from verified sources that supposedly and allegedly this. So I've been very anxious to listen to the head of the Secret Service as he's got to give his answers as to what happened on this day. But at no time, I'm guaranteeing you that if they would have seen this guy crawling on the rooftop, at the very minimum, they would have responded and done something. Nobody wants to lose any of their agents, no matter what conspiracy theories might be floating out there. Nobody wants to lose any of their agents with knowing with this on your record. Nobody wants to be that person. Nobody wants to be that person with the JFK assassination or the attempted assassination on Ronald Reagan. So you got to answer to all this and all that. So this was this use of force. You can go look this up. This stuff is online. You don't have to believe conspiracy theories. You don't have to believe conspiracy theories. You can go look at their standard operating procedures, whatever he called it there, right? So here's the use of force. Here it is. Now, I am not saying that there's not some things that they talk about that are kind of, nobody, they don't want anybody to know about. I'm definitely agreeing with that. But you're gonna take somebody's life. You're gonna let your protectee take a bullet before. So it was either incompetence, and he's trying to say it was conspiracy theory that was just going to let it happen. I'm guaranteeing that's just not the case, and he's definitely erroneous in saying that their standing operating procedure is to let the bullet escape the gun before you can take action. That's absolutely ridiculous. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Much love and peace, everyone.